Hey, it's your boy Chongo coming at you with another video. This video is MrBeast talks about the side effects of his fame. Brought to you by Theo Clips. Alright, so I haven't done a whole lot of Theo lately, but I saw this in the title and I figured it would be a good opportunity, right? With that being said, let's get right into it.
Just so our viewers know, right? I know you have the largest YouTube channel that exists, the most that they can have on there. You have more subscribers than I think people in America.
I haven't thought of that, but
what's
yeah,
the population of America?
I think
Sorry to cut you off, Jimmy.
like 300 million, right?
Almost 4.
Oh, it's almost 4.
Is it?
Let's see, America population, 334. Oh yeah, we're about the same. We're at 330. Yeah, so we're tied with America. Yeah, I guess it's. It's crazy, man. Like 8 years ago, I was in high school, so it's kind of funny when I think about it because 8 years ago, I'm raising my hand to ask to use the bathroom, and then I guess now we have the same subscribers as America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's a difference.
Pretty wild how it happens. It's a lot, man. You know what's interesting because you're talking about like our large subscriber count is it's like when I had like 10 million subscribers, I was like I thought this is fame. Like this is like I would go into Walmart and I don't know, maybe one person would ask for a photo and it was like this is fucking cool. This is what it's like. But there's just like such a big difference where, and this is gonna sound obvious, but where I'm at now than when I had like 10 million subscribers or where I was like 4 years ago. And it keeps getting crazier every year and every year. Like people will follow my car to like, if I'm out and they see me, they'll like try to stalk me so they can see where I live. Like, wow. That's like, that kind of stuff didn't happen 4 years ago. Or almost anything I do ends up on the internet, right? Like, one time I was like at a drive. Every time I go to a drive-thru, it's like flipping a coin on whether or not someone's gonna go MrBeast, and then all the people in the back are gonna run to the window, and it's gonna be this thing that's kind of intense, or if it's just like a really, really old person. And I'm like always super happy when like I pull up to a drive-thru and it sounds like they're 50 because I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
But if they sound like they're in their 20s or 30s, it's brutal because then it's like one time someone did that. They opened it. She was like, "You're MrBeast." I was like, "Yeah." And she goes to whip out her phone. I was like, "Hey, I don't want people to know when I'm driving. Like we could chat, but just please no photos because then if it goes viral, I'm gonna have to sell this car and like it's just a lot of work." And she's like, "Okay." And then she goes to get the food and she comes back and I see just 10 other people that work, I won't even say the restaurant, but behind her coming up or their phone's recording. I was like, I thought I could trust you. And I had to drive off before they handed me my food because I was like, if I don't, they're going to start filming. People will see the car drive, blah, blah. And then it's funny, like the next day I see on Reddit, MrBeast is an asshole, just drove off.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you forgot to tell the part where I was like, hey, please don't dox my car.
Yeah.
Just immediately leaves that whole thing out. And so there's a lot of that. Like, or another time I was at a restaurant. I don't even know who I was with, but someone paid for my food. And I was like, I asked for the bill. They're like, oh, someone paid for it. They're like, told me to tell you they like your videos. I was like, cool. How do I tip? And they're like, oh, well, we don't have a bill. And I was like, okay. So I just laughed. And then the next day I see on the internet, MrBeast stiffed me and didn't leave a tip or whatever. And it's like someone paid for my meal. I didn't get a bill. It's not like I carry cash, So, and I was just, I have so many instances like that where like no one gives a fuck when you're smaller about all these little things. But like, as I've gotten bigger, it's just like every interaction, it's like a 10% chance this thing's gonna end up on the internet or they're gonna try to twist things or whatever. And it's just gotten crazier. Like people, like I said, follow me or, it's interesting.
And you get to a point also with popularity where you've also gone, you can't go back. Yeah. First of all, you can't unbeast yourself.
Well, I can unbeast myself. If I wear a beanie, I've noticed, like I've tried all sorts of outfits when I fly to see which ones get rid. If I put my bangs in a beanie and put that on, because I've never worn anything like that in my videos, the amount of photos I take go down like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, and then if I combo the beanie with like a pair of glasses, because I also have never worn glasses in my videos, it takes it down. So I've like studied it.
Okay.
Because like I used to just rock a hood, but that's kind of like suspicious. It's like, especially in places where it's not cold, people are like,
this guy looks like a bank robber, but he's at United Airlines.
It actually makes them like double look. And then they're like, oh shit. So the hood strap doesn't work. But the beanie and glasses strat, that's the key.
Yeah.
If you want to be like low key.
Yeah, no, I think there's different ways to do different little disguises. I do think it's interesting what you're saying though, like about like I would notice. This is just for me, but I would notice like someone would pay for my food sometime at a restaurant.
Yeah.
But then I would read like, oh, he didn't thank us for it, right? Like, so really they were paying for it, so I would like engage with them, right?
Yeah.
Which is, it's okay, but it's like at some point it's like maybe I'm doing with friends.
I'd rather just pay for the food.
Yeah, I'd rather just pay for my food. I didn't know that there was this other exchange to it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining. I'm happy for the extra food. But if I'm in a hurry or something and now I'm in a different spot and now I'm in a conversation where somebody also then wants to ask you about a business thing or something, it's like,
Yeah.
you know.
There's no rule book for these kinds of things.
Right, there's no rule book for
So
it.
you kind of have to like learn on the go, like, what do I do when random people pay for my food? Oh, I guess this is the random people paid for my food etiquette.
Yeah.
I have to stand there and demand a bill from the waitress 5 times until they give it so I can tip. I then have to walk around the restaurant and find who paid for it and thank them. It's like, these are the things that you just kind of have to learn as you get more famous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting, you know?
Yeah.
And people will be like, oh, famous people complaining, you know? But it's like, but if popularity is a blessing and a curse, and sometimes it's a side effect of what you even wanted to do, right? And yeah, and then there's also ways to like little things to navigate amongst it.
Wow, I gotta say that's pretty fascinating. I feel like, right? Day in the life of a highly successful YouTuber, right? And it's just funny. Like every time Theo Von says anything, I just I brace myself for something stupid he's about to say. Yeah, but like, yeah, man, MrBeast, right? Like that life. And again, I don't know if you guys watch some of my other videos. Go ahead and watch those. I think I did one with it was Trump, when Trump and Shane Gillis met, and I said something along the lines of go check that video out, by the way. I said something along the lines like, why do people do it, right? Like, why not stop at like 5 million subscribers? Like, how much money does he need, right? Like, if I ever got to the point where he just said something about how now he's gotta go get a new car because they know what he drives. Really? He's balling like that? Like, if I ever got to the point where I could just buy a car and not even think about it, right? That would be it. Like, if I could just go and buy a $50,000 car, not even check my finances. If I ever got to the point where I could just do that, like, what else do you need, right? Like, why keep going? You already have everything you need, right? I mean, do you really need a fucking Lamborghini and a Ferrari and a fucking Cybertruck? I mean, whatever, right? Like that's just overkill. Is it worth it? I mean, yeah, I guess if I can afford a Mustang or like an Audi or like a fucking something that I like, right? Audi's an R10, R8, whatever the fuck it is, the high-end Audi, like that's my jam right there. But if I can afford that, like, I don't need anything else, right? Like, do I need, nobody needs a Ferrari, nobody needs a Lamborghini, just fucking, I would go right out in the sunset, right? Like, I would fucking go live in a tropical beach somewhere with this nice-ass car, and that's it. I wouldn't have to work anymore. I would call it quits, right? Like, if your boy Child, if you see me rolling in an R10 or R8, I forget, one of those fucking Audis, right? You see me rolling around in one of those convertibles, right? You better believe shortly after that, I'd probably quit this, right? And I don't know what kind of money it takes. Or maybe like 5 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers to get to that point. But he damn near has more subscribers than the population of America. Really? He needs to keep going. He needs to come out with chocolate bars and shit and fucking Lunchables or whatever the fuck you call them. Does he really, right? And it goes back to Trump. Half the world hates him, right? How is he okay with that? 1 in 2 people despise him. He goes into somewhere. I mean, no different with Biden, right? You go somewhere and you need a whole crew of people following you around to make sure you're safe. And even then, he's getting shot at. Why? And I don't want to hear, oh, he wants to save America. No, the fuck he doesn't. He's a billionaire just like everybody else. And not everybody else, but all those other fucks, right? But yeah, it's like the perspective, right? You just got to watch what you say at all times, especially when you're at that level, because people will twist your words, right? When I got married, we went to this fancy restaurant, and someone bought us dessert. I couldn't think of the word dessert for our whole family. They paid for our dessert, and it was fucking nice, you know, like they and but they didn't expect anything of us, right? I don't even know who did it, but if I was like a bazillionaire, then maybe they'd be like, oh, couldn't even take a picture with me, right? People are wild, right? I guess if you want his attention, I mean, what else are you gonna do? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go ahead and like and subscribe so I can maybe inch my way closer to that level, right? I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. Your boy Chongo is about to hit a rocket ship, right? I'm about to get on a rocket ship and fucking aim for the moon, aim for Mars and shit, right? Anyways, that's all I really got. You guys take care. Peace out.